2020 Mini John Cooper Works Clubman All4 review. Spice up the suburbs. It's a wonder what 73 horsepower will do. As part of a comprehensive update for the 2020 model year, the Mini John Cooper Works Clubman picked up a whole bunch of power, giving the small wagon a much-needed dose of character. Character doesn't mean it's perfect because it sure isn't, but it does mean that this latest go-fast Mini has a unique feeling that more sporty-leaning drivers will appreciate, even if it means making a few sacrifices along the way. Go, go, go. The most important update to the JCW Clubman lives under its clamshell hood. The car's 2.0-liter turbocharged i4 used to put out just 228 horsepower, but now there's an extra 73 horses in the mix for a total of 301. Torque is up the same amount, to 332 pound-feet of torque. The new powertrain is addictive, barking to life from a cold start with more aggression than I expect. It doesn't take long on the street to notice the mega power upgrade. The torque comes on nice and low in the rev band, providing a surprising amount of shove at low speeds, yet the horsepower is there to zip the Clubman well past the speed limit if need be. The exhaust note is bassy and loud when really leaning into the throttle, but it does a good job hiding in the background on the highway, with surprisingly little drone. Power makes its way to all four wheels through a Sirius 8-speed automatic transmission. Stick shift fans, the JCW Clubman is at only from here on out. I call it Sirius because when it comes time to drop a few gears and take off, a sharp stab of the throttle will cause the transmission to kick like a mule as it immediately finds the right cog. Upshifts are firm at speed, but the whole thing settles into a nice, leisurely smoothness when the pace drops. The all-wheel drive system does a commendable job pushing the car through corners of varying tightness, making sure the whole thing goes where I want it to. Combined with the powertrain, the JCW Clubman's extra sprightly chassis makes for a rather intriguing ride. Despite packing adaptive dampers, optional on lower trims, standard on my range-topping tester, the ride is, sporty, rough, at almost all times, transferring a fair amount of motion from road to occupant. It's fine when you're out carving up corners, but it can be frustrating when there's 2 miles of mediocre pavement between me and the grocery store. Compact form factor. If you didn't know the Mini Clubman was updated for 2020, looking at it certainly wouldn't give it away. Visual changes are on the light side, with some tweaks to the grille and both the front and rear fasciae. The standard LED headlights offer up the same funky circular running light pattern as other Minis, and out back, the Clubman's taillights now carry a Union Jack design, more fun than the German flag, I guess, as it's a BMW product, for extra character. My favorite part of the whole Clubman is the split tailgate, which pops halfway open with a single press of the key fob. 2 presses of the trunk button will open both halves. While it looks neat, there's not much more space behind the second row than you might find in a 5-door VW Golf, nevertheless a proper station wagon. Thankfully, the 60/40 second row can fold down in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, preventing me from schlepping my new snowblower home on the roof. Decent tech, nothing crazy. Modern BMWs pack a whole lot of tech under their skins, but despite the close connection, Minis generally make do with a little less. Take the infotainment screen, for example. There are no massive dashboard-spanning surfboards here, just a 6.5-inch touchscreen that also works with a small dial on the center console. BMW's Reskin iDrive system is fine in the Clubman, but it's not my favorite. There's no adjustable home screen. You're stuck looking at individual screens, whether it's what's currently playing on the radio, or a navigation map, with a small chunk to the right dedicated to a trip meter or a smattering of other tidbits. It's a fine system, and it includes Apple CarPlay, but at this price point it feels a little feature flat. The small on-screen icons are tough to hit at any speed above 0, as well. How I'd spec it. The 2020 Mini John Cooper Works Clubman All4 starts at $39,400 for the base classic trim, and my tester is all but fully optioned out at $48,100 including destination. My personal choice of JCW Clubman would be pretty similar to my tester. I'd like to stick with the $46,400 iconic trim, which adds must-haves for me like Apple CarPlay, auto-dimming mirrors, the split rear seat and satellite radio. The only question is whether I want the driver assistance package or not, which I don't, bringing the price down to a still lofty $47,250 including destination. Down to brass tacks. If you're in the hot hatch market, there are a fair few options available. If you want to keep the price down but the power high, competitors like the Honda Civic Type R and Hyundai Veloster are both excellent choices. Reach a little higher on the price chart and you can scoop up a Volkswagen Golf R for about the same dough as the Mini, too. I think the Civic and Veloster have the Mini beat in terms of both price and driving dynamics, but they're only front-wheel drive. The Golf R is a bit more conservative and grown-up, and I'd say it's about on par with the Mini's experience, even though I like VW's in-car tech a little better. If you want something a little SUV-er, there's the BMW X2 M35i, which is basically the same powertrain wrapped in a taller-sided shell. The 2020 Mini John Cooper Works Clubman really stepped up its game. It now has enough power to stay consistently interesting, and its sharp on-road demeanor means every drive can turn into a fun one, even if that's not necessarily what you're in the mood for. It might be small, but the JCW Clubman packs a sizable punch.